Hey guys, welcome to the Freaking Epic Podcast. This is Zach, and today I've got with me John.
Hello.
And I have Michael.
Hola.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, this is where you talk, Michael.
Oh, okay. Well, I just did. I think I'm good.
You're done. You've done all the talking.
You've done everything you can do. You can't do no more.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Today, our topic is top 5 animals you're glad can't fly. Let us start with the new guy. Actually, he's not new. He's been on the podcast before. And also, he's not new because, he's my brother. Hi, Michael. Hi, brother.
Hello, brother and god brother.
Hello, brother and god brother.
Hello, person who's going to tell me what their number 5 animal that can't fly is.
So, the number 5 one I'm really happy can't fly are porcupines. Can you imagine that? Like you're flying and then all of a sudden you just get a face full of stickers, like of their barbs to your face.
Yeah.
You're just walking and then boom! Like the porcupine tail right to the face. So
you have that thing called bird strike on planes where like a bird hits the engine, but with a porcupine, the bird hits the porcupine hits the engine, and then all the sharp quills get expelled out the back at hundreds of miles an hour and just raining down on countries.
Yeah, that would be pretty terrifying. Like, given though, like in a bird strike, every part of that bird is now like going at lethal velocity, but
it's not sharp and pointy and aerodynamic like a needle.
I would say bone chips are definitely sharp and pointy.
To be fair, though, I think if you could train them, they would be great battle companions.
Great battle companions. That would be fantastic.
That would actually that would be an anime sidekick character for sure. A flying porcupine.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's probably one of them already somewhere. At least in some alternate timeline.
At least.
I'm going to go similar theme. My number 5 is jellyfish.
Ooh, jellyfish.
Are you talking about like the box jellyfish or like the giant man of war with like the 50-foot tentacles?
Okay, now I'm talking about that.
I would say all of the above for that situation. Man, like, usually when you get stung by a jellyfish, pee on your leg or whatever to help.
Yeah, you'll have to pee on your whole body for the for the man of war.
You have to pee on your face, like if you get right in your face.
This is why this is R. Kelly's dream scenario.
But imagine some of
Let's just be glad he doesn't own an aquarium.
Oh, I assume he does, actually, now that I think about it.
Imagine
Probably.
some of the jellyfish that there is no chance for. That makes it even more dangerous because, like, when you get stung, you die no matter what. But you can at least never go to the water and you'll be fine. But now that variable is out the window, and you can always have that risk of catching a jellyfish to the face.
You could have just avoided 70% of the Earth, but now you're limited. Even the 30% you're allowed on is just gone because of freaking flying jellyfish.
And jellyfish are almost aerodynamic. They're like the hot air balloons of flying animals.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. John, what you got?
My number 5, and this is solely for my hatred of a certain fandom.
Okay.
And in my mind, I assumed it had wings and not just, magically flying.
Sure.
But also, even magically flying would just be equally as bad. Horses.
So you're doing this solely to spite people, not because you actually think it'd be a bad idea.
Well, also it would be a horrible idea, but just to sheerly spite the My Little Pony fandom.
So, do you have a problem with Pegasi?
I would say there would be nothing wrong with them should the My Little Pony fandom not exist.
Oh, fair enough.
But that is just they ruined horses for everyone. There's no more.
I'm not saying anything against this because I don't want to anger the bronies. Like, if there's one crowd you don't want to anger, it's bronies.
Here's the thing. I am okay with like flying horses and Pegasi and My Little Pony being a thing of, little girls, or like just a normal hobby.
Now. You're an adult now. Think of if you have things that are flying, make sure they're porcupine and jellyfish. That's all.
Like you
can like mythicize them like they do in China with like the qilin, which was like a dragon horse, which is pretty awesome.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're super cool.
No, okay, I'm gonna stop before I get into even more of a rant.
all right.
I could go forever.
Michael, what is your number 4?
My number 4 are the most evil creatures in the world.
Geese.
Hippos.
Oh.
Hippos?
Yeah. Geese are close second, but hippos are number 1 because they murderize a butt ton of people every year.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, as far as like animals that kill people by anything other than running into them when they're in a car, and not counting like, I don't know, mosquitoes and stuff, they are the most dangerous actual like biting you to death animal there is.
Yeah, they'll literally like snap you in half because some of their teeth are like a foot long. So can you just, and they're like, they get super pissed super easily. So they'll just like run up on you and bite you in half. So just imagine them flying up on you and biting you in half. That's not counting the fact that you'll get like squished and like turned into a pancake by them first.
Yeah, my number 4 is kind of similar because it is the elephant, but not primarily. I mean, it would be majestic. They'd be flying around, perching in trees. It'd be delightful. Except they
pancake you.
They've killed many people with their droppings, and if they're just flying around, you just get suddenly buried and you die from a elephant dropping.
Yeah, another thing though is elephants, they like to get drunk and then they'll like go on drunken rampages because they'll like eat all this fermented these fermented fruits and stuff, and then they just get crazy and go drunk or go on drunken rampages. So imagine a flying drunken elephant rampage.
That's a thing. I didn't realize. They're so like us.
They were on my honorable mentions, but I was like, nah, hippos are a little worse.
Yeah.
But they were on my honorable because of their drunken rampages.
Okay. I can see that. Well, I guess it's my turn for a
yes, it is.
ridiculously large animal that I would never want to see. Mine is whales.
Yeah, okay.
I would never want to see a flying whale for that same purpose of like not only a whale all of a sudden like landing on your car destroying everything.
Yeah,
but
it's a whale. It's landing on your apartment and destroying like the entire building.
Right, and I wouldn't want to see a like
just
on top of that, like just accidentally being swallowed by a whale, Jonah style.
Dudes, there's like a whole genre of art that's just flying whales.
I
know, I've actually seen that. It's really cool.
See, the reason I thought flying whales is because I was watching a speed run of Mega Man 8 the other before, and they had those whole sky levels, and they had the flying whales. It was like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and hard pass that.
It'd be beautiful, though. The world would be a more surreal, beautiful place. There'd be people would have, oh dude, you could have an entire colony living on top of them. Like you could basically like build kind of like squat hut type things, and like you could actually have
shanty towns on the backs of wells.
Yeah,
dude, awesome. And then like the weather system would be coming from its spout because it would be spitting out clouds from its little spout hole. What's the word for that? Spout?
Blowhole.
Spout hole? Blowhole. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I totally forgot that.
I'm gonna go ahead and start a new belief, not that the world is flat, but that the world is based on a giant whale and all clouds come from its blowhole.
That's fair.
There's a lot of hot air coming from blowholes around the world right now.
Da, 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 da. All right, Michael, what is your number 3?
So number 3, I just got simply for nightmare fuel, and that's giant centipedes. They like.
No.
That's why. That's why.
Spoiler alert, that was my number 1 because
Yeah. I wanted to put them in the middle of the list because, they're pretty much nightmare fuel and they already eat bats and stuff. They'll like hang from cave ceilings and they'll just snatch bats and birds right out in midair and eat them. And apparently their bite is like just as bad as like a bullet ants.
Yeah.
So
yeah, depending.
I saw a video of a guy getting bitten by one, and he was like, he couldn't feel his arm, and he had to go to the hospital. And this is a dude called Coyote Peterson, and he goes through the pain units of like bites. So he's been bitten and stung by like all sorts of things. This was the only one he ever went to the hospital for.
Wow. And flying centipedes are also horrifying.
Do the bullet ant and stuff. Yeah.
So the giant centipede was worse than the bullet ant?
It was worse because the poison basically it went in waves. So it was like a bullet ant biting you 20 times over. Oh. So the pain wasn't worse, but the venom was just like, okay, I'm gonna start another wave of shooting your arm with a 22 pistol every 30 or 40 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, you kind of, I'll just move. You kind of you took my number 1. That was my number 1. Was just the horror of winged centipede things. Just especially because insect type things tend to swarm, and so just a swarm of them. That's like a world-ending plague. So yeah. I will. That is my turn. I'm gonna let John give his number 3.
All right, so my number 3 is wolves. I would not want to see a pack of wolves descending from the air to like lift off some poor prey.
They're just going to be lifting because they're smart too. So they're just going to be like going down on a cow or an antelope or something, like 7 of them lifting it into the air, flying it up and dropping it.
Right. Well, even still, like because pack tactics, what they do is they will chase an animal to death, and they will just relay run and take turns, like wearing the animal down. But if they just have like a flying, from a flying vector, just tackle something to the ground, their kill rating will go up exponentially because of just the unexpected 3-dimensional aspect of it. Like, and that would be terrifying.
Yeah,
dude, now I'm thinking of like
Wyoming.
I'm thinking of what they do in Mongolia and like Kazakhstan, where they hunt wolves with eagles. Now I'm imagining them using the wolves as the eagles.
Whoa, that would be really cool. You had the arm thing where the falcon comes and rests on your giant glove, but it's like
you'd be super swole.
Yeah, I mean, man, that takes hunting dogs to the next level.
Also, something that would be awesome to see in an anime, like just the giant BA dad figure is just out hunting with winged wolves.
Dude, that's kind of like a dream of mine now. I didn't know it was, but it just became one.
All right, my dream is to hear your number 2.
My number 2?
Yeah.
All right. My number 2, this one is just for pure fun. And also because if they aren't careful, you'll be impaled. And that's narwhals.
That was my honorable mention. I was like, you know what? I think I should do narwhals. And I was like, nah, Michael's got it. He's got it.
Yeah. My honorable mentions, that's more, I have another nightmare fuel honorable mention, but I'll leave that for honorable Abominable. Sorry, my
Abominable?
English is not Englishing well.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, anyways, narwhals. Because they're basically like unicorns mixed with pegasuses, mixed with whales. And I imagine they're clumsy in the air. So you'd just be walking in it and they're like slightly more friendly. So I'd want to say hi, and then you would get impaled through the chest with its tusk.
I'm okay
They
with
do
that.
look like friendly doofuses. Like,
Yeah,
they look like a
Mhm.
doofy creature. I love them.
yeah.
Okay.
So my number 2, I'm just going to say that giant centipedes was number 3. My number 2 then is one that is might possibly be your number 1, Michael, which is
Okay.
giant squid.
That actually wasn't mine.
What? But
I don't
okay.
know how I didn't think of that.
a giant squid in the air, and it suddenly just rains ink on you and you can't see anything, and then you just feel like 20 tentacles just suckering your arms off.
Dude, you know what's worse? Is lots of pretty much all squid, they have razor sharp beaks.
Yeah.
So it would like literally like tear you apart with its giant razor sharp beak.
Yeah. And they're just flying through the air, and they're smart.
There's this one kind of squid, I forgot what it's called, but it has like 30, 40 foot long tentacles, and it looks like an alien. It has like, they go out, 4 of the tentacles like go out at like 90-degree angles and then just drop down.
Yeah,
It's
man, I wouldn't want to be hunted by a vampire squid. That would be the most terrifying like D&D level mechanic, like level of fear ever, because vampire squid has webbing in between all of its tentacles, so it just engulfs its prey.
Weird.
Wow.
Yeah,
dude, that kind of reminds me of my honorable mention. It's not a squid, but it's a lamprey. And I don't know if you know lampreys.
Yeah, no,
but
I know
they're like the most disgusting animals in the world. They're basically like death leech fishes that latch onto you, and then they start sucking your insides out because they just bite a hold of you.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're pretty much, that's one thing I would never ever want to see flying, like a giant leech maggot fish that's covered in snot.
Okay, and now we're moving on
Anyway.
to John's number 2, because I'm getting grossed out.
Sorry about that.
John.
My number 2. See, my number 2 is deer.
Oh, I get it. Because they already run into so many cars and kill so many people.
Yeah, well, the idea of deer is not that it's like for the idea of like them flying into random crap and knocking stuff over. Well, yes, that is very much so a big reason as to why I chose it, but the reason I chose deer is because imagine hunters who shoot down a deer like while it's flying, and then it just crashes into the ground with the force of a large creature coming down, like a flying deer. Yeah.
It would have to be illegal to shoot them from the air, to like shoot them while they're in the air. You could only shoot them while they roost. So people would be like finding trees deer like to roost on, and just kind of setting up camp, waiting for deer to alight.
Dude, yeah. I would totally like what's the word for that? Like when you tell the animal to go attack the other animal. I would
Pokemon?
Yeah, I would sick my flying wolves on the flying deer.
Yeah.
Also, one of my other honorable mentions was the tufted deer, because it's a little deer with fangs. It has fangs.
That's fair.
All right, Michael.
So I was just imagining fanged deer.
Mm-hmm.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is purely for aesthetics, and that's because I was just imagining
Okay, it's the what?
Like, oh, sorry, it's the AA.
The is that like a lemur thing
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
with the
lemur thing
giant
that
bug
looks like
eyes?
it's being coked out. You're thinking of the tarsier. This
Yeah.
one is the giant, is like the lemur one that has the bug eyes that also looks like it's been on a like coke bender for like 10 years, and it has like the index finger that's twice as long as the rest of its
Oh
hand,
yeah,
and you can
the
reach
one that
in.
like reaches into ant things.
Yeah. So basically,
Aye. I'm looking it up.
It's
I'm looking at.
yeah,
Ah.
it
pronounced Eyeeye.
exactly. Yeah, the eye. Just imagine that flying. Like you're walking and then that just lands right next to you and you're like, what the crap? And then it starts probing you with its giant finger.
So
Anyway.
basically, you've just described aliens don't actually exist. It's all just eyes that grew wings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like highly advanced eyes.
I'd have to imagine though that not much would change for the Eyeeye in its own like lifestyle and whatnot, because it would still just want to hang out in trees. Like it would get to trees better, but like
Yeah,
and there
I
would
mean,
probably be
it would
more of them. Like it definitely wouldn't really change their general lifestyle.
Except
yeah,
they'd be
it's
flying. They'd be
just nowhere near
flying.
the status of hippos. But
Hmm?
yeah, just
They'd
terrifying to see.
they'd be flying. They'd be flying methamphetamine majestically through the air, just like the kings of the trailer park.
Like the kings of the trailer park.
They'd be
Okay,
the drug mules of the animal kingdom.
my number one, since it was giant centipedes, but my new number one, because my number two is fainting goats. You're just
fainting in
walking.
just a meteor strike of goat.
You just at any time you could be taken out by a raining goat.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's
I'm
very
glad they
similar.
don't have horns.
Well,
don't need
some do.
If they have 60 pounds of terminal velocity.
Yeah, that's true. That's bad enough. I was just thinking if they were like top heavy and they had the horns, and then they just kind of tilted that way, and then they were like missiles of death instead of just like meteors of death.
Yeah, we could dream. So next
Yeah.
list would be things that we're glad don't have horns and wings. That's basically everything.
Centipedes.
Centipedes. We're just gonna keep adding on to this list.
John, what's
I
your
would
number
be
one?
happy with flying wolves with horns, though.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds awesome.
I
No.
know.
All right. Well, my number one, is tigers.
Okay,
I would
yeah.
not want to see a flying Bengal tiger. Its successful kill rating would go up from like once every like 8 or 9 days to like once a day for sure, because of the three-dimensional, like the even more so of a three-dimensional aspect. Because inside the jungle, like a Bengal tiger, is the top predator. There is no other competitors. And then all of a sudden,
Oh yeah, that and they're one of the few animals that will just go on spree kills just for the fun of it. Like them and some leopards, they just get a taste for killing, like killing humans. And there's been a couple that they aren't even hungry. They're just like, I want to kill some humans today. So just imagine that with flying.
I mean, imagine like a 10-foot long, 300 kilogram. I don't remember what that is to pounds.
About 600 pounds ish.
Yeah, 600 pounds of cat, like of sheer like ancient cat, like especially since they're stealth predators too. You would never know. You would never
know, because they wouldn't be naturally yellow, like orange and black striped. They'd be naturally light blue and white striped, so they'd blend in with the sky.
Right,
dude. What if Fujian tigers, like that last episode I was on, talking about the cryptids that might be real? What if the Fujian blue tigers? What if those were flying tigers?
They
Oh,
would.
that would be
That's why
horrifying.
they're blue. That was their original
Yeah,
purpose. And God realized that we would all die, so he just was like, all right, nerf them on the next patch.
yeah. At least take the wings off.
So any good honorable mentions?
I had sharks.
Okay, yeah. I feel like that's Michael's. I feel like I've seen Michael make drawings of sharks with wings several times.
Right.
Actually, I don't think I have. It's the shark buffalo that I've made drawings of.
The shark
Just
buffalo.
half shark, half buffalo.
Okay, my honorable mention: piranhas.
Ooh, I thought about adding piranhas. I actually thought about that. Like
Just the
a
swarming
cloud
aspect
of piranhas flying at you. Like that would be game over. There's no recovering from that.
Yeah, there's no recovery, and where you just have to know wherever they go, that's where death is.
Yeah.
You just have to set up fences in the sky full of electricity.
Like forget a cloud of or a plague of locusts or whatever you call it. Like a plague of piranhas. That's clearing everything.
Yeah, everything in its path. Because I mean, the whole? I mean, I don't know if it's an urban myth. I assume it's not. But the whole like piranhas, flock, a fishy herd. What the heck is?
School.
School.
The word you're looking for is school.
A school of piranhas can clean a cow in under a minute flat, and like down to the bone. Like, and that's just coming at you out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have to hire people with binoculars to just keep an eye out, and then anytime piranha like a piranha herd school was seen, everyone just have to board up their houses and just stay in for the day. There's just no way of surviving that.
To be fair, though, I've heard piranhas are pretty tasty. So if you have a shotgun in a good like sniping position, you could get like a lot of good meals.
I mean, yeah, but like, how much of it would you destroy with a shotgun? And on top of that, you have to kill them all at once, otherwise they just eat each other.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Weird. Any honorable?
Your
mentions,
honorable
John?
mentions are better than mine.
I mean, I had sharks, or as one of them. I had scorpions.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. That'd be creepy.
The scorpion tarantula hawk is an actual thing. And I just thank God every day that there's not more of them.
Yeah, they're not allowed to be. Those are challenge rating 5 creatures. They're just not allowed to willy-nilly spawn.
Right. Crocodiles.
Dude, there's some really weird real animals.
Yeah, they're really weird. If you ever need to make like a sci-fi or horror movie, I always just say Google unusual sea creatures and just pick one and make it into land animal.
Dude, even some weird ones like, have you ever heard of the spiny mouse?
Yeah. Or man, you guys are getting right up into my major right now. We could talk about the hairy tarantula. Or not the hairy tarantula, the hairy frog, which is literally Wolverine the frog.
It has claws that come out and then its skin heals over it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it literally forces its bones out of its hands, and uses them as weapons. Binturongs are an animal that naturally smells like popcorn, and they're horrifying. Well, they're not horrifying; they're kind of cute. They're like badger cats.
Oh, okay, that's actually kind of cool.
Tree badger cats. Let's see what else.
I was stalked by a giant badger once.
Ooh.
Okay, tell.
Or it could have been a small bear, like a bear cub, but I'm not sure because I was taking a night hike. I tried to say hike and walk at the same time. Anyway, I was taking a night hike, and I felt like something was following me. So I was like, I gotta go back to the car now. And
Mhm.
so I just kind of picked my way down because the moonlight was pretty nice. And for like 10, 15 minutes, I just felt like something was following me. And I came to this small cliff, like 5, 6 feet high. And then, like, the thing that was following me, it kind of felt like disappeared for a minute. And
Mhm.
then, and the cliff below me, I just see this giant black blob. And it was about the size of the foot cushion, like the thing you rest your feet on in the sofa. Uh, it was about the size of that, and was just this giant square of darkness that walked right under me, and it was
Mhm.
too dark for me to tell what it was. So I decided it was either a giant badger or a little bear.
Okay.
Needless to say, I made the rest of the way back to my car pretty quick.
Yeah. um. let's see.
Michael, any more honorable mentions? I've got like two more.
Yeah, my two honorable mentions, like, because I already mentioned lamprey and the tufted deer, the deer with fangs. My other two honorable mentions aren't nightmare fuel. They're just like really annoying. One of them is a golden retriever, just like a super friendly golden retriever. It just like
That would
flies
never
and
wake
it
you
like
up.
licks your face. Yeah, you could never escape from it. You'd just be walking, and then all of a sudden you just feel like this giant tongue on your face. You'll be like, "What the crap?" And then it would just be like licking you all over and like trying to sit on your head. And then can you imagine like the mess it would make? Like you would have so much trouble with like taking the doggy bag, the poop bag to another level.
Yeah, and there's shedding everywhere. There's just like people with allergies can't go outside anymore because they're just golden retriever fur raining from the heavens at all times.
They're like human, and they dive bomb you. Anyway, yeah, that one's like it's too cute, but it's too much of an inconvenience. You can't
Yeah.
bring them to kill like the wolves.
One of mine is not inconvenient. It's really not anything. It's just a mantis shrimp. Just the idea of it like sucker punching people in the head with its supersonic punches.
Mhm.
Dude, mantis shrimp are like one of the coolest creatures ever.
I mean, like the coolest thing about them isn't the fact that they can punch and create a miniature sun, because they punch so fast, but is the fact that they see every single spectrum of light.
That's
Dude.
insane. Wait, do we know if it's like literally every single one, or do we
They
think
can
it's
see from the
All
very
the ones
top,
we measured.
basically from the very tops of ultraviolet to the very lows of infrared.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. They're the one punch man of nature.
Yeah, basically. Something so small, the ability to literally boil the water with its punches.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah, like they've broken the aquarium walls, and they're
Yeah.
like not much bigger than your hand. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the dream. John, any other honorable mentions?
I mean, this one is actually what I kind of want to see, but like in general, not really. Pangolins.
Okay, pangolins, like the aardvark anteater combo thing.
Like the only mammal with scales.
Nice.
Like just
That'd be
because
cool.
it'd be cool, but also at the same time, I don't want to see it in the air. I want to see him like happy where he belongs.
In the air. Come on. That's awesome.
Pangolins clearly belong in the air. Like things belong in the air, John, except piranhas and giant centipedes.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting though, because they're another one that could turn into a meteor, because they'll roll up into a ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
armadillos.
Just imagine like
just
cannon.
raining from the sky.
Yeah.
Or like turtles, if they just go into their shell, just fall straight down.
Dude, like the giant Galapagos tortoises. And then they would naturally develop padding around their guts, and then they would just use that to like for a defensive mechanism. They just smash you to death.
Mm.
Yeah.
my other honorable mention is coral reefs, because they are technically alive, and that becomes then a mobile prison. Like you could just imprison people with them if you could control the flight pattern of coral reefs. You could basically just create your own little habitat. You could live inside it. Like unscrupulous people could live inside of it and just kind of guide it where they wanted to go. And just flying around.
I mean, yeah.
I assume it's flying real slow because it's a coral reef. It's flying like inches at a time, but it's just kind of like a little mobile neighborhood.
It's like a live action SpongeBob SquarePants now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think that's all I've got.
Cool.
I have meerkats as my other honorable mention.
Okay.
Just because I imagine like a swarm of meerkats would be really pesky.
Pesky. That's what we were going for.
That's why they're honorable mentions, not regular. Not on the top 5.
There was some that like I would have added, but I really want to see them fly because it'd be super awesome. And that's like the mountain lions and snow leopards, because that would just make them even that much more awesome.
Yeah.
So that's why they aren't on my list.
Any kind of cat, like big cat predator, I'm good.
Dude, I want them all to fly because they're so awesome. That would like just double their awesomeness.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks, Michael, for coming on the show.
Buyonkachi. That's
what you just said.
Buyonkashi as well.
That's like you're welcome in Chinese.
Oh, you're welcome for welcoming me. Saijin.
再见，下一次见。
English, America.
America. In this episode with America. 3, 2, wait, 1, 2, 3.
America. Yeah. America.